Attention, everyone. The Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge is inviting you to join us in September for the African Union CARICOM Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Sign up for the 3-day package and be a part of the AU CARICOM Summit, plus take in all of the sights of Addis Ababa, the new flower. Or you can opt for our 9-day cultural national tour, and that will engulf sites like Lalibela, Aksum, the Simeon Mountains, and much more. Transportation, accommodation, and your meals all included. So contact us now and reserve your spot. Email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com or visit our website priestisaacinstitute.com. Ethiopia. See you there. Yes, royal family. Give thanks for your presence with us. Give thanks for each and every one that has taken the time to come and sit with us and sup with us and Naya Bingi out with us. Give thanks for your presence even at this moment. A moment of joy and a moment of happiness. As you can see, we are definitely celebrating life. All praises, all honor to Emperor Haile Selassie I, in all good doings and saying, the Honorable Priest Isaac here with you in a moment of sharing joy and a moment of sharing happiness, in a moment of sharing words of truth and words of light. Family, we are very thankful again for being in the land of the living. And this program, this presentation will be a part of our fundraising campaign as it relates to the mission to Ethiopia. And even on our station broadcast here, we have not spoken of that in a few days. And I think the moment is definitely right, so that those who may not have a good understanding will have a better understanding. What I would like to touch upon also this evening is a very controversial subject area. And of course, I must say, many ones would believe that even with the levels that we touched, that maybe we would have passed that stage. But you must understand that they have people that come into this every day, and they are bombarded with false information and misinformation and all sorts of things, especially as it relates to Emperor Haile Selassie the first. And of course, there are very few that are there defending Haile Selassie the first. So we cannot take any nap at all on the battlefield, as it relates to the King of Kings. And of course, again, this is what the ones want to know. Inquiring minds want to understand the true position as it relates to Ethiopia, the true position as it relates to Haile Selassie the first. And actually, I decided to highlight even this specific picture, which made its rounds a few years ago. And ones were saying, well, this is proof that something's wrong here, where you actually see Haile Selassie in this portrait, in this what appears to be a painting, in front of another figure, which ones are classifying as the white Jesus. That's basically what the conversation is. But family, of course, as I said, we're going to take our time today. So it's not going to be kindergarten. It's going to be nourishment, It's going to be inspiration and bringing the facts to the table, so that when you leave them levels of discussion here, you can say, all right, I fully comprehend. But of course, before we go there, we have other things we want to touch upon. Here, the bingy sounder, man. You understand what is being said in this chant? An ancient chant, one of, I must say, my more favorite of chants. The hand of Rastafari writing on the wall. And that is straight out of the book of Daniel, as it relates to the hand of God writing on the wall. Listen good, listen. It is the hand of Rastafari on the wall. It is the hand of Rastafari on the wall. And for those who know the Bingi chant, you see that last line where they say, it is the hand of Rastafari on the wall. Well, how I came up and heard that chant, they would say, in that very last line, they would say, it is the hand of Rasta writing on the wall. And I mean, in any way, I mean, give thanks and praise for such Naya Bingi and Naya Congo, breaking down the walls of Babylon. And I would like to even highlight the importance of understanding or comprehending that chant. Again, the hand of Rastafari writing on the wall is really from the scriptures. Of course, I'm speaking of even the Bible. And It is the story within the book of Daniel, and it is like the fifth chapter of Daniel. A lengthy chapter there. I'm not going to really go through the fullness of that for sure at the moment, but what it is, the king of Babylon, that is King Nebuchadnezzar, he was having this feast. No, it's not Nebuchadnezzar, man. It's his son. What's Nebuchadnezzar's son name again? Belshazzar. He was having this great feast. And, he was just having the feast. And throughout the feast, expressing himself in all of his sinful ways, a hand came out of nowhere. And it is said that the hand started to write on the wall next to the candlestick, I think the scripture says. So he was like shook up, and he called for the astrologers, yeah, and the soothsayers and the stargazers. You see who he called for, and none of them could help him. I think he hung a few of them and firing squad and gas chamber. You don't know how these fellas run. So his wife told him, take it easy, honey. There is someone in the kingdom. Your father used to rock with this man, and he's a great man. He is an ambassador, and he represented the nations amongst the nations. Say, who that? Say, his name is Daniel. You understand? This is the book of Daniel chapter 5. Read it, you see what I'm saying. It may be paraphrased a bit differently, but it's the same idea. And Daniel came and told him, man, you have to tell me what's going on. I can tell you what's going on, because that's how these brothers roll, Daniel and Joseph, and, when other fellas cannot interpret the dream, these brothers tell you the dream. You don't have to tell them anything, and then they tell you what it means, and they don't want no payment. Hold the Mercedes-Benz for yourself. Okay. Yeah. And give thanks. He said that the writing on the wall really is, first of all, the writing was in the language Mene, Tekle, Ufarsin. And Daniel explained, well, listen, and I will read from the 26th verse. This is the interpretation of the thing, Mene. God hath numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekle, thou art weighed in the balance and art found wanting. That's not a nice thing. Outside of a kingdom and a leader, even as a personal human being. When the Most High searches your soul, and I'm telling you, and thou art weighed in the balance and thou art found wanting, it's not a good thing. So you gotta check yourself and discipline yourself quickly. And then Perez, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and the Persians, and that is a bit of prophecy there. And interestingly, that is up for debate if that's exactly what was said. But the point is, a message was written on the wall. The hand came out of nowhere and wrote the message on the wall. And the king couldn't really understand what it was all about. And he called for help. And the great Daniel came. And that's the interpretation that he got. So again, we give thanks, that's the Nyabingi chant, really. Maybe ones may even be chanting the chant, and this may be the interpretation that you're getting, I don't know, maybe for the first time. Come on, let's take a little more of that, because it's a judgment kind of chant, Yeah, the hands of Farai writing on the wall. You understand what that means? It's judgment time. Remember Nebuchadnezzar and Belshazzar, these are the kings of Babylon. I don't think we understand what's going on. This is a different time. This is a different time than any other time. Oh yes, you're perfect. You're doing perfect. This is a different time than any other time, you know. If you notice, everybody's trying to keep up Babylon, even the righteous trying to keep up Babylon. He's canceling Medicare. No, that is not going to work. I'm telling you. You mean they're closing down US aid? They're not going to send any more vaccines to Africa? No, we need to protest. We need to plan a campaign because this is not right, my brother. Power to the people. I don't know if you follow me, because apparently many ones, you know, can't even follow that comprehension. I would believe this audience, is up to speed. Yeah, we are so hypnotized, the same Babylon that we say must fall. When you read the scripture, you see that's another problem. Everybody is throwing the Bible in the fire. Maybe not everybody, but you know what I mean. I'm not going to tell you to go and, juice it down and drink it down and get dogmatic on me. Definitely go into it with real understanding and real comprehension. But the point is, the scripture clearly shows us in 1 hour is her judgment. Get out of her and all of that stuff. They're canceling our visa. We cannot go. We cannot go there anymore. It's not fair. I'm telling you. Listen, the scripture showed you mercy. You know what the scripture said? That the Most High would shorten the days. Because if he didn't shorten the days, even the elect wouldn't be able to stand the fire. Get out of her, for in 1 hour is her judgment. And you can see it literally shaking up now before your very eyes, crumbling in front of you, wars and rumors of war. I did a program the other day. How many of you really checked that program out? The very same day when the President of the United States and the King of England, the same day, the same time, had a military expedition on their birthdays, the both of them birthday, and it still wasn't the birthday of the King of England. He moved his birthday up to align with Donald Trump's birthday, the same day of the American Army anniversary. And at the same time, the King of England and the Troop in the Colors. I did a whole program on that about a few days after the event. And then at the very same time, Benjamin Netanyahu was licking fire on Iran. That's exactly when it started, when the Troop in the Colors and the American military was flexing its muscles on the birthday of the two kings. Or one king and no King's Day. I went deep into it, my brothers and sisters. For those who may not have checked it, it's right there, right here on the YouTube. But anyway, the point is, the hand of Rastafari is writing on the wall. We like, we're moving like, like some real house Negroes, as if we coming with the eraser to erase what the Most High has written on the wall. We're supposed to be happy to hear some of these news that come out of the news. But we're trying to turn back the judgment. You know why? Because the money that you work so hard for sitting down in somebody's bank. You ain't sitting nowhere, brother. If you're wise, you go and utilize that quickly. And get something that, just think, say, what would suffice? Let's assume that money dies. Just pretend money dies. What can I purchase that would have value just in case money dies? And I don't have to give you no long lecture. You can just figure it out. I don't know what it is, but it got to be something. Whether it's metal, what they call it, there's a term they use today, rare minerals or something like that, rare earth minerals, gold, diamond, a gas station, there's something, land, an industry, a worthwhile business that will thrive, because money dying doesn't mean the economy dies. If every dollar dies, not just the US dollar, if every dollar dies, if the concept dies, come on, things still have to thrive. There still will be wealthy and poor and impoverished and all of that. It will still exist. But you just got to be in the stream of things. That's all. But I don't think every economy will crash, actually. But it's obvious that all kingdoms fall. Very important royal family. But hey, give thanks. The hand of Rastafari writing on the wall. And I think that was just a Bingy lesson. And family, that's just the introduction. So I really hope you have the time. But we intend to spend some time even at this moment. What we're going to do, royal family, give thanks again for your presence with us. I am going to highlight before we go to the subject area itself, because as I said, this is the picture that caused such controversy a few years ago. There's this brethren of mine I met in London, Bobo Shanti, and he used to make videos. I'm sure he's watching this video now, and he used to make videos. And when I met him, no, one or two videos, nothing too big. No offense, I don't mean it in no disrespectful way at all. You understand? Because what we're doing ain't not too big. We're supposed to have millions of views every video. We ain't there yet, so it's not as if I'm disrespecting what he was doing. But I know in our terminology, he was just doing a little thing. He was inspired by even I, because when I met him in London, he was very elated to meet I. Yeah, give thanks. But it was not too long after I returned from London. The brother sent me a picture of this very same stuff here. The brother became a Hebrew Israelite, and this was one of the main things. Now I not sure if this was the time when, because there was a picture going around with a red circle that was literally put together by our brother Bishop Nathaniel. He actually spoke of that in the very same interview we were just highlighting. And so I'm just showing you the effect. That's a serious effect. That's a soldier. Now I know many ones are going to get very dogmatic and say, well, this wasn't for him and all of that. And I understand. Everyone cannot take the same pressure. Everyone don't have the same understanding. There are people that turn back and still come back again. So maybe they didn't have to turn back to just come back again. But because they didn't have the right understanding, they couldn't stay put. That's all. You see what I'm saying? Very good. So that is why I found it necessary, especially since this is a strong conversation that is arising as it relates to the Black Christ concept and the way that Christ is being portrayed, especially in Ethiopia. But this is more than in Ethiopia. This is Emperor Haile Selassie the First. Let's be clear now. And I'm going to be the angel's advocate. And this is what people are saying. Here you have the King of Kings leaning up, whether it's in his home or in his office. You see Empress Menen picture here. You see a picture of the King of Kings when he's a little child here. You see, a nice, ornament, vase, whatever this is here. Ethiopia plaque here. And you have a religious looking picture. Looks like a picture of the Christ. He seems to have on a cape from this point of view. We're examining this, my family. This is very important because the 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 common theory ones will try to bring to you is that Haile Selassie is kneeling. I see this written all on Facebook. He is kneeling. You look at the picture good, you don't see no kneeling. But anyway, Haile Selassie is kneeling before a white Jesus. All right, I'm just introducing it. We're not even getting there yet, royal family, because you don't know how it is. We are very serious around here. And I think although many ones are just trying to be not only funny, but be problematic. But there is serious concerns for things that you may observe. And again, there are those who really want to learn. So we must take time to look at things on that level. So give thanks again for your presence with us, family. I just want to encourage everyone to get a copy of the ambassador's pen, the ambassador's pen for sure. The link is in the description below the video. And I didn't mention here, but some of you would have seen the clip I uploaded earlier. In fact, let me see if it's uploaded at all. I think it should be uploaded. You know, Green Castle Hill, Mount Anu is definitely on fire. Now, this is very, very serious. And when you uh, 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 when you try to observe the meditation here, let me just make sure. I'm not even sure. Let me see. All right. Whatever the case is, it will be up. I uploaded a very short video. I think it's about 2 minutes. At this very moment, Green Castle Hill is on fire. And you may say, Green Castle Hill is on fire. Wow. So what? What does that mean? I don't understand. What does he mean? Well, for those who may not even know what Green Castle Hill is, no disrespect. But if you go through the magazine Kidemi, that is the edition for the 21st day of December, Kidemi. You can see it right here. I pull it up here on the screen for you. Kidemi really goes into Green Castle Hill, the mystic megalithic mountain. And of course, you know, when we go through the pages thereof, you actually get a better understanding of the importance of this hill. Countless of megaliths, countless of rocks that align with the ancient, well, align with the stars, align with the heavens, you know. And of course, at the same time, I must say all blessings to the mighty, blessed, honorable prophet, mighty King Basilic, and of course, his Empress Karima, and the royal family. They were with us just about a strong now, and we visited Green Castle Hill, and we held a beautiful meditation. Give thanks to Honorable Prophet Andre, Honorable Prophet Rastri. So, royal family, the hill is on fire now. Royal family, we spoke of that. You walked through the fever grass. You walked through the lemon grass. Well, I'm telling you, the hill is on fire right now. So we're very thankful, beautiful. I'm looking right at the flames as I look through my window. And as I said, you can check the previous video, Royal Family, or one of the previous videos, depending on if others were uploaded before. So this is the magazine Kidemi. For those who have never even been through the magazine Kidemi, take your time. Go through the magazine, read. You know, you want a book to read? I mean, we have a whole library here. I hear people telling me truth bury. We're not burying anything in it. We burying the lie for sure. So we are creating a whole archive of reading material. You know, so you get it in print and you get it on digital. You want if you want you can get the magazine in print fashion. All you have to do is email us preciseacinstitute@gmail.com. So going through the magazine Kidemi, you get a better understanding of Green Castle Hill, the city of Anu, the importance of how Antigua and Green Castle Hill is connected with Heliopolis. And of course, you have the film that we would have created. And of course, this is internationally not only renowned, but the film was a finalist in 2 film festivals. In fact, this is the certificate here. This is the certificate here, finalist, a tourism video, tourism products, Anu, the ancient city. And that's the South African International Film Festival Africa. So, royal family, it highlights Green Castle Hill. You can actually watch the video by going through the magazine. This is how important the magazine is. And as I'm looking through the window, the hill is on fire. You may say, so is that a good thing? Oh, that's a beautiful thing because the hill now, because of the lemongrass, which is very invasive, maybe just a few decades in connection to the hill. But at the same time, the rocks being volcanic rocks, and this time of the year, we're talking about summer solstice business taking place, the connection, and the oils even in the grass and the fire in the stone, it ignites. That's what's happening. So it happens all the time. So the hill now is getting a nice crisp burn, and someone like me, it was going to be a delight to revisit the rocks that I haven't seen for actually a couple of years right there on Green Castle Hill. Beautiful royal family. So again, you can go through the magazine Kidemi. It's in the description below the video. The link for the magazine Kidemi is in the description below. Remember, the magazine Kidemi will be out in a few days. Well, not a few days, in a month or so. You're going to see the next edition of Kidemi that is going to definitely take Kidemi itself to another level. All right, very good. But actually, what I really wanted to highlight is the ambassador's pen. And I wanted to highlight the most recent ambassador's pen, which is the one highlighted the return of the Benin bronze statue, the artifacts, the return, the for the 1st of July. As you could see, we have a beautiful article here. Well, it's really the speech given, a very nice speech given by the current uh, president of Botswana, Duma Gideon Boko. He seems to be making some waves around Africa himself. But again, the main article penned by my daughter, the Honorable Princess Acacia Menin, and some, and of course, editing from the Institute in general. You have the bronze statue, the return of the Benin bronze statue, very beautifully penned article, and of course, many other things. But what I want to highlight here, family, and I want us to actually take a bit of this within ourselves. This is in the magazine. This is an excerpt, really, that was taken from the meeting of the security meeting in Rwanda, actually just a few days ago. And at the security meeting, you had certain heads of the international security firms that literally deal with the protection of Africa on different levels, from literal defense and cyber security, etc., etc. And it's quite interesting that within this magazine, we do have a security company, SSS, that advertised with us for the ambassador's pen. There you see SSS just above Pioneers Clinic advertising with us. Very good. But the 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 head or the chairperson of that event that took place the other day is actually the president and CEO of the Africa Leadership and Dialogue Institute. And she herself, that is Julie uh, uh, Ichihu, Ichihu, she spoke quite sternly on the West involvement as it relates to African affairs, and especially when it comes to us trying to assist each other in times of turmoil. And she really used, for an example, the situation that took place in Libya when Colonel Gaddafi was taken out. So what I would like to do is to actually give you a bit of what she said, I want us to take this in. This is just an excerpt, really, from the State of Africa, the inaugural International Security Conference on Africa.
When the attack happened in Libya and Gaddafi was being taken down, a number of African presidents said, wait, hold. We will fly into Libya and we can have some kind of diplomatic conversations. The feedback from external actors to them was, if you fly into Libyan airspace, we cannot guarantee your security. I want you to think about that for a minute, that heads of state of the African continent were told this on our continent. And ladies and gentlemen, what is Libya today? What is Libya today? And it happened on our watch. It happened on our watch. Ladies and gentlemen, Rwanda 1994. Dilly-dallying over the word genocide at the United Nations Security Council saw 1 million people dead in how many days? And who solved the problem? We had to solve the problem. His Excellency and a small force came back in and had to build this country from scratch, ladies and gentlemen. And today we still get lectures and hear lectures about human rights, and there's something wrong. I want to talk about South Africa today. In South Africa today, we are hearing narratives being built around white genocide in South Africa. You are security actors, you understand the import of these narratives and why are they being placed in the international scene? Why is this happening? What could it open up? Gaza today, ladies and gentlemen, where we've seen the brutalization and the massacre of tens of thousands of children. The multilateral systems, I'm going to come to each of you and ask, are they working? Can they hold? And if they cannot hold, and Africa has never been given an adequate seat at the table. Martin, you can talk about that. Perhaps I'm wrong. You can correct me. But where does Africa stand? 54 nations? A strong continent, resource-rich, fastest-growing continent in the world. Where do we deserve to sit? Your Excellency, let me come to you on this. Multilateral systems and how do we maneuver this very serious reality, please?
And I actually stopped there, not to go too far within the conversation. You yourself can do your research. It's the State of Africa, the inaugural International Security Conference on Africa, taken from Africa Leadership and Dialogue. So you yourself can do your research and take in the full conversation. But just for your information, when the good sister, in fact, as I said, the reason why I stopped there, she just read the article for you, because that was actually, as I said, the excerpt that we took from her chairmanship, really, her chairpersonship. She gave that outstanding presentation there to me in a little excerpt form. When she said that His Excellency had to bring back the country, she's talking about Paul Kidemi of Rwanda. Also, she made a very key point. Let me find the point. I want
Gaza today, ladies and gentlemen, where
it was before that.
To solve the problem. People dead in how many on our watch? It happened on our watch. Ladies and gentlemen, Rwanda 1994. Dilly-dallying over the word genocide at the United Nations Security Council saw 1 million people dead in how many days? And who solved the problem? We had to solve the problem. His Excellency and a small force came back in and had to build this country from scratch.
His Excellency, that is the president of Rwanda today.
Ladies and gentlemen, and today we still get lectures and hear lectures about human rights, and there's something wrong. I want to talk about South Africa today. In South Africa today, we are hearing narratives being built around white genocide in South Africa.
Now, South Africa today, we're hearing narratives built around white genocide in South Africa.
You are security actors, you understand.
Listen to that. You are security actors. You understand. Security is not just branding and guns and you can't come in here. Let me see your ID. No, you are security actors. You understand. She talking about propaganda. She talking about what you do before you bring down the enemy.
The import of these narratives, and why are they being placed in the international scene? Why is it?
The import of these narratives and why are they being placed in the international scene?
What's happening? What could it open up?
I wonder.
Gaza today, ladies and gentlemen, where we...
Yes, Royal Family, give thanks continually for your presence with us. Give thanks continually for the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. So again, let me just clarify to you. You can definitely read that for yourself. Encourage the reading. Come on. As you can see, this is beautifully set in of course, for your laptop and in tablet form. It's wonderful on your tablet, especially if you request the PDF scroll version. Oh, it's beautiful. Donald Trump. Imagine Donald Trump said he built the Ethiopian dam. How many of you saw that video we did? Donald Trump said he built the Ethiopian dam. Anyway, so this is beautiful for your tablet, your scroll, even for your big phones, even for any phone. And of course, you also have the well-loved flip book. That to me is just marvelous for your laptops. I mean, what a wonderful thing. So the link is in the description below. No, that's for the flip book. The link for the flip book is in the description below. Just go below and press it, and it's right there. Beautiful. And at the same time, for the subscribers, you should also get the scroll when we email the book to you. Beautiful. We are talking about the ambassador's pen. All right, Royal Family. So let us get to the subject area at hand. We're going to be talking about the whole concept of the Ethiopians. Now, I know many ones will be saying, no, don't try to water this down now. This ain't no Ethiopians. We talking about Selassie. When we telling about the Ethiopians praising the white Jesus, we know that. No, you ain't getting away tonight. Selassie, we catch Selassie with a picture. That's how they talk, man. On his office table, bowing down, man. The man bowing down to the white Jesus, and you know who I talking about too. That be spitting most of that stuff. So we're gonna deal with that in an intelligent way. But of course, before such, attention, everyone. The Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge is inviting you to join us in September for the African Union CARICOM Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Sign up for the 3-day package and be a part of the AU CARICOM Summit, plus take in all of the sights of Addis Ababa, the new flower. Or you can opt for our 9-day cultural national tour, and that will engulf sites like Lalibela, Aksum, the Simeon Mountains, and much more. Transportation, accommodation, and your meals all included. So contact us now and reserve your spot. Email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com or visit our website priestisaacinstitute.com. Ethiopia. See you there. And Royal Family, obviously now is the time. Now is the time. I don't think you should be waiting until next week and now is the time. At least reach out. Give thanks for those who would have reached out. Give thanks for those who would have already secured their spot. So definitely just know that this is something that will, stick in your memory, something that you will definitely be so happy that you partook of, the venture to the motherland. Remember, this is a fully well put together, professional, as the Empress would say, luxurious tour. First of all, you just have to contact us to get more information. This is very important, royal family, so you get a better comprehension of those who will be really the what's the right terminology here? The suppliers of the service and the services, your accommodations, the whole works. You get a better understanding of exactly what the full package entitles and what is there for you. And remember, this will be actually around the whole African Union CARICOM summit. So that is why in the proposal, those of you who have the proposal, you see us clearly highlight that this is a diplomatic mission, and it is also a business mission. In fact, let me show you the proposal. Before we get there, man, that was a real tough ad, eh? Give thanks, the Honorable Empress Naya would have put the ad together. Well, I guess all of us still, I know it's my voice, but it was well put together. And at the same time, even the Naya Bingi, that is the Antigua and Barbuda Congress, that's still the Honorable Prince Almasi on the Kete drums there a moment ago. Let's check this again, eh? Beautiful stuff. Yeah. Attention, everyone. The Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge is inviting you to join us in September for the African Union CARICOM Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Sign up for the 3-day package and be a part of the AU CARICOM Summit. Plus, take in all of the sights of Addis Ababa, the new flower. Or you can opt for our 9-day cultural national tour, and that will engulf sites like Lalibela, Aksum, the Simeon Mountains, and much more. Transportation, accommodation, and your meal all included. So contact us now and reserve your spot. Email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com or visit our website priestisaacinstitute.com. Ethiopia. See you there. Yes, royal family. So without a doubt, you obviously have a good understanding of where we are as it relates to that. And at the same time, you will also comprehend that it's a very simple thing to do. As I said, you just contact us and email us. Let us know that you would definitely not the mission, not the proposal now, but you would like to get more information as it relates to the upcoming tour. So let's be clear here. Now, at the same time, I am still asking ones to contact us and request the copy of the mission, because in all honesty, I don't want us to lose the mission outside of the tour. This is beyond the tour. Believe me. Take it from me. This is beyond the tour. The tour obviously will also facilitate the grand mission. But this is the mission that our Father speaks of freedom, redemption, and international repatriation. Now, let me be clear here. I know ones are different in their outlook. We are just adding our brick to the wall that's being built by all of those who are fighting and struggling and joining the frequency, because we ain't struggling for sure. We fighting the enemy, but no struggle at all. But we are joining the frequency to our redemption. That's what it's all about. I'm a very civilized human being, rational. I like to reason things out. I don't like the heap of talking. I know you may think I like to talk a lot, but I don't like the heap of talking. Action is better, but the speech is fine. So this is why from my heart, I say it already, I'll say it again. I would love those of you, especially that are with me, to have a good understanding, a heart-to-heart comprehension of what the mission to Ethiopia is all about. We would have done a few programs where we would have taken the time, as I said at the beginning of this program. This is a fundraiser. This is a part of the fundraiser campaign for this very important mission. So we are taking the time to go through that again for you. I'm not going to read the overview of the mission, but again, as you already by now understand, it's really going around as such, pivoting the African Union CARICOM Summit as a diplomatic mission. At the same time, as the Priest Isaac Institute of Holistic Knowledge, we are going on a business mission as well. The magazine is a very central part of that business atmosphere. We are airlifting business right away, even before we reach to the land. How do you do that? We have catalogs. The main catalog for this is the magazine called Kidemi. I really want you to comprehend this. Please follow me, family. The main catalog for this is Kidemi. And we are, just as we do in the diaspora, we have created the avenues where we'll be setting interviews with other business people and business-oriented people, entrepreneurs, etc. And we will be expressing to them the businesses that we are advertising, those who we promote. And this is why we always say, once you are in our magazine, anywhere we go, you go with us, because we thrive on promotion. We thrive on lectures and seminars and webinars, and these things is a very important aspect of the work that we do. So at the same time, once you are a part of the magazine Kidemi, or once you are a part of the ambassador's pen, when we are on our specific mission, you'll be a part of the mission. But the upcoming edition of Kidemi, this is what I've been showing everyone. It will be designed for our mission to Ethiopia. So for those who will be on the tour with us, you will be seeing the magazine live and direct in your hands. You will even witness to some degree our marketing on the ground. Now, I know you're not coming for a marketing class, but just to be around me even on tour, because this is what it's all about: exposure and marketing and sales. So you will also be observing some of that. Very important. And again, even before you reach there, you set up interviews. You set up, with corporations, Ethiopian Airlines, the Ethiopian Bank, and the different resorts, the same resorts that we will be staying at. They obviously owe us an interview. They owe us a sit down. And of course, we'll be creating long-lasting business with them. We will also be featuring businesses. This upcoming magazine, Kidemi, will be featuring businesses outside of just advertising with us. We will be featuring businesses not just in Antigua and the Caribbean, but from different parts of the world, and creating a catalog with businesses in Ethiopia that we'll be featuring too. Listen, family, you will see what we are speaking of. And at the same time, this is also an expression. I'm speaking to you as a brother speaking to his family. So you have a good comprehension of what it is that we are delivering. So you as well, you have the opportunity to even advertise with us. in the upcoming edition of the magazine Kidemi, we have a what you might call it there. We have a beautiful offer that actually comes to an end on the 13th day of this month, the 13th day of July, whenever day that is. I think that's either Monday or Sunday, but at the end of that, we will definitely be highlighting to you. Okay, this is it. Take a look at this. We have a special offer, 50% off. That is 50% off of both the ambassador's pen and 50% off as well of the magazine Kidemi. Beautiful. So advertise with Kidemi and the ambassador's pen, 50% off until July the 13th. And hear this well, family, again. These the advertisements that you will be taking will be going into, let me repeat again, the magazine Kidemi. Remember, Kidemi comes out twice every year, and the main magazine will be definitely going towards the Ethiopian mission. So we're very thankful for those who are already on board with us and those who will be on board with us. And you know exactly what to do. I don't think anyone has any problem now understanding how to contact us. Email us, Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com. Very good. Now I know they have some people saying, man, you gotta get to the subject, too much of this. Ras, this ain't for you. You see, this is for those who want to add to the mission. And I'm very serious. This is for those who understand I shouldn't be keep saying this to you. You're supposed to already have your ticket ready to come to Ethiopia. You're supposed to already, if you're not coming, take one of our subscription plans because you understand the importance of what we're doing. This ain't just talk to me. You're supposed to already make a donation or at least advertise in the magazine if you have a rent-a-car business, if you have a laundromat business, if you have rooms for rent, something. Not be rushing the brush. I told you from the time we started that this is one of the programs in our fundraiser campaign for the mission to Ethiopia. Don't let me get started now. Don't let me really get started and start to go deep. And somebody may be saying, somebody said something. Trust me, somebody said something. Take it from me. Because many ones do not comprehend the importance of the mission. People just like fluff talk and entertainment. You understand? This is the tiger's nest. This is what we do here. We spend time with our family who want to be educated, who want to learn new things, who want to see the world from a different view. You understand? And definitely who want to add to the mission. So I'm encouraging all the loved ones again. You have the opportunity, and the hill is burning so lovely. I see the fire going other places. Beautiful stuff. So this is why I'm advising everyone who wants to add to the mission, just pick an avenue, pick something. You can advertise in Kidemi. You have 50% off before the 13th of the month for both editions. Because remember, by the 1st of August, you have the next ambassador's pen. And at the same time, by that same time, around the 1st of August, you have the next Kidemi. So this is very important, and Kidemi will last you throughout the year for sure. Ambassador's pen is monthly. Beautiful. And again, you can join us for the visit to Ethiopia. Anything you need to know, you could have a Zoom with us. I'm sure Honorable Empress, they could have, you want to tell us or anything. It's blessed. A Zoom meeting.
Yes, we will actually be able to figure out the details in terms of workshop online time for those who are interested. Will be joining us as well.
The Honorable Empress is saying we will have a workshop for those who will be interested in joining us. So that's beautiful. And of course, the Empress is really the master behind.
It's gonna organize it for sure. There will be some level of organization. If you know you are interested, email the Institute's account at Priest Isaac Institute of Holistic Knowledge. If you know you are interested, just email the Institute account or follow us on the social media Facebook, which many of you are. And that will be the other mechanism in terms of staying up to date with the program. We're going to do more conversations on it, dialogues. We intend to making sure that we promote more to getting a greater turnout within the CARICOM region. I know that a few of you have contacted us from already on the continent and would like to just come and join from wherever you are traveling in Africa from. And also those who are based in Europe actually has contacted interested. So I know that you are. Just recontact us, follow up, making sure that you get the information that you seek and you are able to make yourself known so you can be on our email list in regards to that. Thank
you. Yes, Honorable. And I know I caught you off guard. Holy Haile Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. So as you heard the Honorable Goddess explain there, and beautifully well in order. And as I said, although she is the pilot of that project, I would have had a good insight. And I mean, trust me, everything is in order, everything is in perfect array. As I said, the accommodations, the programming, I don't know if I could just give them a little behind the scenes. We will be speaking to some of the service providers. I think it's tomorrow, and that is even in preparation for the workshop that the Honorable Empress will be having with those of you who will be registering or interested. So the workshop will be for those who are just interested as well too, or
yeah.
Okay, so
Absolutely, because you have all the time that you have to pay, and that those who will be also going be able to get involved with the workshop. So it works out for
both.
both.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's going to work really well for both. It's still a formal presentation. There it will be very, very explained. We got to get into a lot of the conversations to prepare us for this visit. It is certainly a different climate than what we have here. You'll also actually learn more about the nature of the African Union from this summit and then and to the next and beyond. Because some of us are just even opening our eyes and awakening, like from the sleep in terms of what we have going for us in the scope of African reality, and we can explore more of opportunity.
True, blessed love. Shit. So we give thanks for that information. So family, so even if you just want to have more information as far as being a part of the tour, you can definitely contact us and I guess register for the upcoming workshop. So a lot is taking place. Give thanks, Honorable Empress, for such word sound and as impromptu as it was still. So at the same time, family, listen, with all of this talking, I have to take a proper draw and get to the subject area at hand, let me highlight again, because this is very important, that you could also take one of the subscription packages. This is very, very important, from the full sponsorship to the silver sponsorship. And then at the same time, you can simply donate. So there's a simply donate. I think that's like almost, well, that's it. You can donate from 50 to 50. Well, there can't be no limit. You can donate. And again, the mission's proposal is to give you contribution. Yes. The mission, say?
I was just feeling empowered in that contributions, donations is very accepted, and I was greatly yes. So you were saying the mission.
Yes, so the family can comprehend. I want them to feel the mission. You see how we have the different aspects: the head of missions, the administrative director, events manager, chief assistants, the head of missions, second assistants. And we would have updated this, I know I'm showing this, but so you have an understanding of the different the workload as such, the marching orders, that's not the right term, but the job expectation of each department. So again, you know what to do. Give thanks for the moment. That moment was sponsored by the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. Yeah, you understand? We pay for the time, so that we can get it on this very popular program. All right. Yes, family, give thanks. Attention, everyone. The Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge is inviting you to join us in September for the African Union CARICOM Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Sign up for the 3-day package and be a part of the AU CARICOM Summit, plus take in all of the sights of Addis Ababa, the new flower. Or you can opt for our 9-day cultural national tour, and that will engulf sites like Lalibela, Aksum, the Simeon Mountains, and much more. Transportation, accommodation, and your meals all included. So contact us now and reserve your spot. Email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com or visit our website priestisaacinstitute.com, Ethiopia. See you there. Ethiopia, see you there. Give thanks, royal family. Rastafari live forevermore. As we continue, give thanks, royal family. Give thanks to those who may be just coming into this special premiere. We are definitely going deep. And we're going to be going deep now into a different level of the reasoning. Just brace yourself. Now you bring the fire, no man. Who can stand in the way, Rasta? And that's why you definitely need clean hands and pure hearts. Give thanks, each and everyone, for your royal presence with us. Thanks to those who may be just coming in to this specific premiere, and just encouraging everyone to continually read your ambassador's pen. The link is in the description below. Now, basically, this is what we are highlighting, and again, this is going to be a serious conversation. It's going to be a conversation, a teaching conversation, a lesson, really, on reality. I would like to begin here. And I'm not skirting around the issue, but because we're being mature about this, we're not here to make no noise and oh, Selassie, I this and no, no. First of all, I did a program uh, a while back. In fact, I did it somewhat twice. The head of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, the current head of the church, this is one Abuna Matthias. He spoke as it relates to the the ethnicity of Christ. This was on an interview that he did for a documentary by the BBC, where Zainab Bedawi interviewed him as the head of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. And she made a statement where she said that as she goes around Ethiopia, she would notice that you have many different types of, Christ and the mother of Christ. They usually have, listen to me good, she said, this is what Zainab Badawi said. She said they usually have this soft brown skin with a, I think she said light brown skin, but with a soft afro. So she's technically saying that they're black, but they're not, Shaka Zulu black, but they're black people. And he said, well, he doesn't see the reason for that. And although I'm paraphrasing, believe me, I know exactly what I'm saying. And he said that, when you go to different places of the world, people make the Virgin Mary and the Christ like their own. He highlighted in the Caribbean. He said in the Caribbean, you would see them have the Christ looking like them and the Virgin Mary. I question that for sure, but that's not even the topic right now. Then he goes on to say that there's no need to change the color of Christ. He's talking about his own Ethiopian people. There's no need to change the color of Christ because Mary and Jesus are Jewish, white people. And then the host made another statement. I can't remember what it was. And then he stressed again that, listen, why change? The Mother Mary, she's Jewish as well. I don't see the need. They're white people. Now that's something else. Now that is, you could say, his opinion. Because right here in Antigua, you have the head priest of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, Gabriel Jesus, who clearly is against that statement. And he said that the Christ and his mother is African. So I'm not really here to even challenge the church in totality or fractionize or whatever. I'm just highlighting to you what the head of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church would have said. Now, the reason why I took my time to express that, and of course, humbly, is because, again, I would have done a video on that. The video was taken down for, I think it's copyright reasons, and I somehow managed to get it up again in another way. I think that is still up, but I'm not going to play with the audio for it. You understand, and I'm sure you would have heard us touch the topic already. All right. What I would like to do is to highlight, first of all, outside of the Archbishop there, even differently than our Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, let us look at the construct of the identity of the Christ figure. And when I say that, I mean the ethnicity, black and white, whatever have you. What is the Christ figure as we know him in the history? No, obviously, this is not the time for anyone to try to throw in the towel at, oh, it doesn't matter what color he is. No, no, hold on. The reason why we're doing this program is because to many people, it matters what color he is. That is why they're highlighting Haile Selassie. But wait, Haile Selassie has a white Jesus on his dresser there. And not only a white Jesus, he's in the picture bowing down to the white Jesus. Hey, Rastaman, you have a lot to explain. And maybe rightly so. So let us deal with the topic. So now, as what's her name there? The good host for the BBC program said, you go around Ethiopia. Now, she said, everywhere you see the brown face and the soft afro. Now, that may be true everywhere you see it, but from what I observed in her own documentary, many places you see the lily white. When I say lily white, the lily white Jesus and Mary stuff. But she told the Archbishop that you know you see this dark figure. All right. Now, when we go through history and we are going to the motherland, when you go through history and even from documentaries and from photographs and some specific manuscripts and books, etc. I'm telling you, I never questioned the ethnicity of the Ethiopian pictures that I have been seeing from the time that I have taken up Rastafari. I wonder if you follow what I'm saying. I'm trying to show you, okay, for example, a lot of the white Jesuses that you see today, like in the Lalibela churches, etc. At least I never took note of that. But remember, at that time, I'm just looking, you could say from the outside. I am reading books. I had this beautiful book that was loaned to me. I had to give back to brother, obviously, but I had it for a while. Big book filled with Ethiopian art, like what you're seeing here. So it never, I've always been connected and I would have studied the book. It's like a catalog. So that's why I can look at certain Ethiopian art and tell you where it's from because of that very same book. So when you go through the artwork like in Gondar and even in parts of Lalibela, Aksum, you do see, as you are basically seeing here, you do see the Christ figure, the disciples, everyone with this brown sort of figure, um, 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 feature, pardon me, this brown sort of feature. They are obviously African, but it's not, as I said, like a Shaka Zulu. They're not black like Idi Amin. But I never questioned that. I just saw Africans. I just say, hey, the Ethiopians have the black Christ. Only when after a while you somewhat saw these white Jesuses as if they were coming into the picture, while we started to question these things. Okay, fair enough. Now, with that understanding, let us move on to this level of the conversation because it's very important. When you observe, we just spoke of the Archbishop, the Abuna, the present Abuna. And we don't want to be biased here. We want to be clear with this. I want you to see where we're going with this here. When we observe, for example, his crown, on his crown, he has a picture of definitely Jesus and Mary. You know, my concept is there ain't no black Jesus, but that's the next story for itself. Now, when he was asked the question by the BBC reporter about the figures of Christ and his mother with the afro and the brown skin, again, he said that we shouldn't be doing that. In a nutshell, that's what he said. We should leave it as it's supposed to be. White people, you see how it look on my crown? That's how it's supposed to look, although he didn't have on the crown at the time. And I'm not making light of it, and no disrespect to the Archbishop here. But if you look at the crown now, you would see the Mary figure and the Jesus figure, and they're obviously extremely pale, very much European. You know, if you want to be technical, you could argue that these may be Syriac figures, not necessarily European. I wonder if you follow, because you must understand that the Syrian and what's the other place? The Armenian Orthodox Church have a strong connection to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. I always believe when the King of Kings says we in Ethiopia have one of the oldest versions of the Bible. He didn't necessarily say we have the oldest version, although some people quote it as that. He said one of the oldest version of the Bible. I honestly think that the other versions, or the other version really that may be up to par with what he's talking about, might be the Syriac um, version of the Bible outside of the Ge'ez. Yeah. I'm not even sure of Coptic, but that's a different discussion by itself to some degree. So, so you have here now. What's the reason for this? Now, I just showed it to you, obviously, and give thanks for the life giver and the keeper of life. I just showed to you, obviously. Okay, you have paintings on some of the ancient walls in Ethiopia. Let me show you this. Come on, this is serious. Take a look at this, family. Now, when you observe, this is in Gondar. This is on the walls of some of the castles in Gondar. And you see here the said picture I was highlighting more in its original formation. Now, even if you just take a look at this um, picture here, the Christ figure being crucified. Again, he ain't no black, super black figure according to this, but you see in Africa, if you're going to say his hair is long and it's straight, but look at the Trinity above him. Look at how their hair is flowing down. And again, over the years observing this, when I look at that, I saw black people. I never questioned it. I never saw anything but black people there, with woolly hair. You understand? Afro was going down almost on their shoulders. And then when you look at the Ethiopians, you actually see that sort of expression as well. Beautiful. You see a figure that is a bit darker than those that we were observing a moment ago. And again, at the same time, this is it. This is on the walls of some of the, I think this is the angel faces. This might be also in Gondar or on one of those, in one of those monasteries on one of those islands. But again, let's just be fair here that they're not black like the Marcus Garvey black. But unless we had to have a discussion like this, to me, there was no question that we're looking at African people. I want you to get that point in your head. And these are ancient um, paintings on the walls and ancient paintings on the ceilings of the ancient monasteries and churches that are in Ethiopia, that are in Africa. Look at this beautiful rendition here of the Christ figure, and the mother almost almost seems as if they have a Japanese sort of look. And that's another thing, that the Ethiopians have this ability to express themselves in some different formation, as if they're different tribes in Africa. And let me, for your knowledge, for your information, you're hearing the loggerhead birds making their calling and hailing me up, you know, as we are doing this tiger's nest with the beautiful people. Give thanks, loggerheads, blessed love. So at the same time, it came right there by the window. I'm telling you, Rastafari, Holy Emmanuel, I Selassie, I Jah, Rastafari, beautiful. Now, yes. So again, and there's a reason why I'm pushing that narrative, you know. Honestly, there's a reason why I'm pushing that narrative, that you cannot look at this and tell me you're looking at white people. You cannot look at this and tell me you're not looking at African people. You know, guess these are not Arabs neither. You understand? And no Mayans and nothing. Even again, I want to highlight this too. Even again, as you see, that you could even observe the hair formation on the Trinity. You know, it's unique how it's running down even on the shoulders. That's important. Look at the Christ figure here. We know the Ethiopian Christers have locks. Some of them look just like long hair. But again, somehow you're not questioning. This ain't no white. Nobody here white. Look at the angels down here. Nobody here white. Look at their wings. It look like the American flag. Eh? Red, white, and blue with the stars in it. Where did they? I'm telling you. But again, nobody here white. All right. Now, before we get to the the King of Kings, I want to highlight this other situation here. And this is the King of Kings. This is from a video, that a German video here, where we have been highlighted here. This is actually a ceremony where the bishop, what's his name there? Theophilus, the Bishop Theophilus was given a position here, and he was given a specific crown. I guess he was given his crown. I think he was a Buna at that time already, but whatever the case is, so I'm not sure. This is 1972, so I do not think that this is his inauguration as a Buna, but it is a ceremony where he was given a specific crown. Now, the crown was just placed on his head. I think the emperor is going to place a ring on his finger, and I just want us to take a look at the crown. That's all.
Da der christliche Glaube von starken Kräften aus verschiedenen Richtungen bedroht wird, sagte der Patriarch. Mit eurer tätigen Hilfe
Now watch it good. Of course, the quality of the video is not the best. I mean, we don't understand. And maybe the angle we want, we may not get that angle, but we should get something. The king is, I think that's where he's putting the ring on the bishop's hand, and we get a glimpse of the crown. Now, let us look at this crown here. Again, we are dealing with a difference in time, slight difference in time. This is 1972, and this is the reign of Haile Selassie I. And this is his archbishop here getting his crown. The crown was placed on his head. Now, although this is not the top-notch video, we still have an idea of the figures that are seen in the crown. Now, we're looking for ethnicity. That's what we're talking about. Now, I did a program on this very same crown already, where the program had a question mark, because it was maybe because the video is not as clear as we would like it to be. We are like in between, as what are we looking at here? Now, is this one of those very white Ethiopian figures that we see, like what we saw in the crown of the Archbishop of today? Let us revisit his crown first, so you have an understanding. Now you see the figure in his crown. Now he has some other figures to the side. Let us look at another crown, see if we get another angle here. All right, that may not be the best picture there, but there's another crown. All right, even this, good. Now, you have obviously an apostle. This looks like an apostle to the side, but for sure on the front line, you have Mary and Jesus. Now, the Mary and the Jesus, to me, personally, definitely looks European. The apostle on the side looks like one of those European rendition from ancient Europe, especially those same places like Armenia and these different things. I would not pass nothing on this crown as African. No disrespect to my brethren there in Ethiopia. All right. Now, but if we return to the crown in the days of the Abuna of Haile Selassie, look at his crown now. You cannot just definitively jump up and say, oh, that's another white person. In fact, it looked like the fella rocking a serious afro. Again, the justice of it may be shrouded because the video is not the best. And you do not get the best angle, and you understand. Maybe the lighting is not perfect. We could bring up a heap of things, because someone would watch it and say, but look, that look like all them other white people to me. And let me just come back and repeat again, that if you look, if you take your time and you observe the other, what you may call it, the other pictures of ancient Ethiopia, the other pictures of the Christ figure that are found in some very ancient places, not recently refurbished now, not no gifts that we got from anybody. I'm talking about in Gondar, in the ancient pictures on the paintings in Lalibela, not no gifts, and monasteries on the islands in Lake Tana, and even that high church there, way up in the high hills, the chapel in Tigray. All of these places have these similar paintings that look quite similar to even what's on the crown of the Abuna in the time of Emperor Haile Selassie I. These do not match. these ancient pictures do not match the pictures that we see on the crown of the Abuna today. I want that to be clear. And the Abuna today clearly said that Mary and Jesus is white. He told that to the BBC reporter, Badawi, Zainab Badawi, that the Jesus is white and there's no need for us as Ethiopians to try to make him look like us because that is not the right thing. And he even went as far as to say that people in the Caribbean, which is really, no offense, where he kind of lost some credibility there for me. He said the people in the Caribbean tried to do the same thing. They tried to make Jesus look like them. I mean, I've been to almost every Caribbean island, Ras. I mean, we're in the Caribbean that black people trying to make Jesus look like them. Where I missed that one. He must be talking about Rastafari. I mean, outside of that, I missed that one. I mean, a few people tried, but it's not nothing that the good brother should have used as an evidence of what people are doing. Because trust me, that was almost outlawed a few years ago. But the point I'm making, really, the point I'm making is that his outlook, his opinion, and he is entitled to it, is that the Christ figure and Mary and everything is Caucasian. Good. And you can look at his crown, and you can see for sure, without a doubt, lily white. No mixture, nothing, lily white. Good. Examining. I want you to get the point, eh? Examining the crown of those who came before him during the time of Haile Selassie. The figure, again, doesn't look Shaka Zulu, but looks very much like these figures here. Now, I've seen banners, I've seen banners. I know I've seen a video with some banners where the Mary figure and the Christ figure, lily white. The King of Kings right there, the King of Kings, Haile Selassie the First, right there sitting down, one of those ancient pictures outside of the chapel, and a banner across being held up. An official banner. I think it's the priest them holding up the banner and everything. Yeah, that lily white, but it's a painted thing. And I'm getting, listen, family, the reason why I took you through this is so that we have an understanding historically and we don't really get lost in feelings and all of that. Because we cannot confuse the tradition of Rastafari with the dogmatic religious ideology that people like to promote. Now let us return to the picture here at hand. In fact, let me highlight this in another form so we can blow it up. This is very important. I want us to blow it up, as they say, so we can blow this up and have a proper look at this. Now, first of all, where is it? Yes. Now, let us take a look at this, family. Just quick. Now, first of all, the emperor is not kneeling there. And even if the emperor was kneeling to the Messiah, I mean, you see the emperor kneel in the tabernacle. The emperor not only kneel, the emperor kiss the floor, before, whether it's the cross or whatever the case is. And this is another thing. You understand? This is another thing. We have to understand as Rastafari, don't make anybody take you off of your crease. That's a term we use in cricket. You need to know how to stand your grounds. We are beyond religion now. So you don't have to answer no funny questions. You are beyond that. You have a clear understanding of the world and how we are moving through. This is Haile Selassie the First. We are Rastafari. He's our King of Kings. He's our Lord of Lords. And as Bobo Shanti, we have a high priest, Melchizedek, who brought the order to us. This is why these little things don't confuse us. He don't lead us astray. You understand? Listen, the King of Kings, his duty and his mission, that is why the red is down. Blood running in the street for real. But you see, many of us, we don't really comprehend the prophecy. Now, first of all, let's deal with the picture before we go too far. All right. Now, for the whole program, we've been observing the different figures, the Christ figures and the Mary figures from the ancient time. All right. You take a look at this. So the first impression, I guess, a person is getting is that this is Jesus standing before Emperor Haile Selassie I, and Haile Selassie is kneeling before XYZ. Now let us look at, for example, the texture or of the skin. Look at Haile Selassie and look at the Christ figure. In fact, the Christ figure slightly looks a bit darker, from my point of view, at least from the angle. And I'm not saying that, honestly, I'm telling you from my heart, I'm not saying that because I'm Ras and I'm trying to be right. Believe me. In fact, I just realized that, okay, let's balance it off. They don't look too much different, really, as far as their complexion. Now, of course, those are going to tell you Haile Selassie is a white man too. You know that, which is, I mean, come on, we can mash that up in a second. Obviously, Haile Selassie is an African amongst I and I. Don't try no dead talk here, But that's the point. The same Ethiopian figures, the Christ figure, the angels figure, the sort of complexion they have, that's the type of look you see with Haile Selassie and many other Ethiopians. But that has never disqualified anything when it comes to them figures as being Africans. The whole world knew that. That's what the world said. The Ethiopians praise a black Christ. Good. Now, the long hair, we just showed you for sure. Let me make sure you can follow this properly. Yes, we just showed you, for example, I want to give you this picture here properly so you can see where it did it go. Oh, please pardon me. Yes. Look at the Christ figure here. This is John the Baptist baptized in the Christ. John the Baptist baptized in the Christ. These are authentic. These are authentic figures here, the authentic Ethiopian artwork. And they have long hair. Now, at the same time, when you observe, again, even when we just showed you in Gondar, look at this figure here, the crucified Messiah. Long hair, above the crucified Messiah. Long hair. In fact, these long hair look very much like the long hair figure in the mask of Lord Pakal. The long hair, but yet still obviously we're looking at African figures. We're looking at African features. Let's go back here now, get a better view. Look at these two figures here, Rasta. There's nothing here when you observe the Ethiopian context to say that the King of Kings is before no Jesus. Now, I shouldn't be trying to explain that to no one because we're not religious here. I just tell you that I see with my eyes Haile Selassie I on a mission with the church, and they have the same banners of the same type of figure. Nobody can argue that. You got to be honest with yourself that you see in the crown of, what's his name there? The Abuna of today. I did a program once when we had a video showing you of the Christmas tree and some Santa Claus is coming with a donkey bringing presents. I'm talking about in the palace grounds of Ethiopia. I'm talking about 1973, the emperor right there giving gifts to little children. And I asked once to explain that. People write in the comment that nothing goes so and it's propaganda and somebody sliced the film. Yeah? So that is to show us. That is us not understanding the reality of the world. But Rastafari, them things is scripture. Number one, I mean, come on, man. All right, let me show you something. No picture supposed to move any one of you. Because even before the picture, we already highlight you. Haile Selassie the first. You see for yourself how many of you kissed the cross. The King of Kings is an Orthodox Christian. How many of you kissed the cross ceremoniously? Nothing wrong if you want to kiss the cross. I have my Ethiopian cross there. I kiss it when I feel to kiss my cross, you know. But ceremoniously, you're gonna be kissing the cross. His Majesty drink the wine and eat the bread of the communal ceremony, the same ceremony like you see it's done in the Anglican Church and in the Catholic Church. Is done by Haile Selassie himself as an Ethiopian Orthodox Christian. Ones may want to say, drink the blood and eat the body. And if he was to explain it to you, he would explain it in the same way, royal family. If you're dealing with belief, Congo, in the same way as some races burn out the virgin birth concept, Haile Selassie is a believer in the virgin birth, like Christ was born without the inception of any male figure. That's the Orthodox belief. Now, you could argue all you want about he's supposed to be of the lineage of Solomon, and Joseph was of the lineage of Solomon. And if he has no Joseph blood in him, how can he be of the lineage of Solomon? That's between you and whoever else believe that. But I'm showing you, you can even listen to the King of Kings talk and he tell you these things. In the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, Christ died just like any other Christianity. Christ died. This ain't no special thing. And came back to life. Now, you may think it's symbolic. You may think it's Christ within all of I and I. You may think it's something else, but you have a talk with the king and see what he tell you. Christ died and came back to life. So you can't be moved off of your crease because of some little picture that somebody sees somewhere and the emperor is next to the picture and somebody take a picture, a drawing, a gift that maybe was given to him. Come on, family, get more sensible than that. Obviously, a gift given to him. The king placed it wherever it's placed. And then at the same time, you're looking at the figure and saying, oh, that's a white figure. But when I look at the pictures, the both of them have the same complexion. In fact, the white figure seems to be a bit darker than the King of Kings in the figure, in the picture. And then you may argue, well, you see, that he's questionable himself. And then, we're not going to have that kind of conversation with you. And this is why those of us who are not firm, I just showed you, at the beginning, for those who would have just come in, at the beginning of the program, I gave a living example of someone I know who de-wool themselves, take off turban, everything, and put on the dashiki with the fringes and became a Hebrew Israelite because of that specific picture there of the King of Kings next to the photo of him before the Messiah. You understand? And this is why I tell you already. I went to Barbados, Mount Carmel, Hail Bongo Claw, and Ras Michael. And at that time, that's a while back now. And at that time, almost 20 years ago, at that time, I'll be moving around with DVDs and playing DVDs of the emperor and showing everyone the emperor. Wow, look at this and that. Some Rastas never see the emperor moving on any video and anything, and we had them Rasta. And that documentary when the king come and kiss Queen Elizabeth hand, never forget that. I tell the story all the time. That a brethren there, when that happened, when we were watching that and the king kiss her hand, the brethren jump up and say, no, fire, nothing goes up. It's Babylon put that together. The king would never kiss the harlot hand. And he walk out. He walk out of the room. I don't even know what become of the brethren. I don't know. I don't remember his name, nothing. If I see him now, maybe I don't even remember. But I remember the whole event. You understand? And it's just to highlight to you again the level of ignorance that we carry, that we can overcome. I'm not trying to diss him or anyone else. A level of ignorance that we can overcome. You understand? To me, them is scriptures being fulfilled. The book of Isaiah clearly talk of that in that day the Lord shall shave with a razor the head and consume the beard with the razor that is hired from beyond the rivers of Assyria. Isaiah, what it is now? Oh man, I think it's the same Isaiah chapter 7 or 7, 8, or 9 that speak of Emmanuel. That's in 7 and 8, or unto us a child is born. That's in chapter 9. But it's about the coming of the Lord. And in that day he shall shave with a razor the head and consume the beard, which is very symbolic. It's showing you that even the emperor, as we know the emperor, let me be clear here, the emperor, as we know the emperor, is as if he toned himself down to come amongst us. Let's put it that way. So for example, even the way he attires himself, he himself told you that he is acquiring the uniform of the European nations. Just think about that. That's in the military. You understand? All of that is symbolic of he shall shave the head and consume the beard. Now, if it's one thing, the king always have his beard, and the king always have that fro, that neat fro. If it's one thing, the king and no bald head thing and them kind of thing. But the real Rastafari nature of the original man, that's the real nature of Haile Selassie. But to come amongst us, he shall shave. Literally and strongly symbolically too. He shall shave. Here, with a razor from beyond the river of Assyria. That's them same countries. Assyria is the city of idols. Germany and Belgium and these places. So the uniform maybe, I think it was German style or Belgium style uniform, straight up. You understand? Let us look at even the necktie. You know how deadly the necktie is as a symbol? The necktie. Haile Selassie is voted the world's best dressed man years upon years, over and over. I think they had to write to people and tell them we can't take it no more. The world's best dressed statesman, Haile Selassie. Obviously, the world's most decorated statesman, Haile Selassie. How he dressed, his military suit and the jacket and tie suit. The tie, the literal tie, is the hangman noose. It's a Freemasonic gesture. This is deep. And then, that's another thing. Speaking of Freemasonic, who's the head of the Knight of the Garter? Come on, man. Who is the head of the Knight of the Garter? You know what the Knight of the Garter is? Somebody come and bring in some little old picture, no disrespect to the picture, that somebody paid, and have Christ big and Haile Selassie small. And the king humble, maybe put it on his desk, whatever it is, wherever it came from. And maybe the coloration of the Christ just doesn't fit you from the photocopy of a not too well photograph that is a bit blurry that you see somewhere off of Facebook and all of that stuff, and that move you. What are you talking about? Haile Selassie is the head of the Knights of the Garter. If it's so suspicious you are of the color of Jesus and the king and picture, Haile Selassie shouldn't be with no Knight of the. You know what the Knight of the Garter is? You like to talk about Freemason and Illuminati and Windsor's Castle and all of that stuff. And yeah, that's the Knights of the Garter. The most outstanding order of chivalry in the United Kingdom. That's the top of the list. Officially really headed by the Prince of Wales, whoever that is. And the supreme head is obviously the monarch. And we would have already showed you in several programs where Haile Selassie fit in as it relates to the Night of the Garters and the parade he took part of in the 1970s, just before he came off of the scene. He was a member since 1954, but he only took one ceremony. Once he was in the ceremony, just once. It's not something he do all the time, you know. He just did it once. He said, I'm going to leave the scene now. Let me just do it once. Prince Charles, he was Prince Charles at the time. I know you're the head of the garter, but you got to come out of the line and let me take your place. That's what happened. You know, I mean, do I need to drop for the video and show it to you? You understand? And then at the same time, in fact, we have a documentary that we did. It was a lecture, really, that we did that you can get entitled Rastafari and Freemasonry that goes deep into these things. In fact, we have subject areas on this same YouTube channel on Rastafari, Haile Selassie, and Freemasonry that exposes exactly what I'm trying to show you right now. You know, so I'm not even going to drop for the video. You can drop for it yourself if you really want to understand it. And Prince Charles at the time had to move out of the line, and Haile Selassie took his place. That was very unique, showing you that he is the head. The head, Solomon's descendant, is here. Remember, Freemasonry and Masonry is all about Solomon, you know, and the Solomonic temple and all of that stuff, the building and Hiram Abiff. Well, the resurrected Abiff is here. It's deep, and they understood that. And that is why no one could put their hats on their head. Not even the soldiers could put on their fluffy helmet until Haile Selassie placed his feathered hat on his head and went into the carriage. Watch the video, or even the documentaries I just highlighted to you, or get your copy of the documentary that we did. So some little picture here on a desk with the king and some drawing. Man, come on, man. These fellas here that waste their time to bring these things to the front line and deceiving the weak-hearted ones amongst us. The Bible speaks about that. It speaks about the seeds that have been thrown to the earth. Some seeds came amongst thorns. They started to grow up with the thorns. I think the thorns were the cares of the world that smothered them. Some seeds grew amongst the stones, like my brethren that see the picture and lose it. Some seeds grow amongst stony ground, where the root doesn't really take root as such, and then it starts to grow, but any old wind can just blow it away. You follow me? So what I'm saying, and this is the thing, that's why I like to bring challenging subjects to the forefront, especially for people that say them is Rastafari. I like to challenge you, bring reality to you, you know, straighten you out quick, slap you in your face, and wake you up. So when people come with them little trick or treat and look at this picture here, Selassie and Jesus, and that don't move you. You go make that foolishness move you. I shouldn't have to come and give no long talk about that for anybody. You're supposed to say, boss, what you talking about? This is not a religion we're dealing with here, you know. This is African liberation. Will you tell me about some picture and something somebody dropped? You're going to leave Rastafari for that? Nah, man, maybe you really didn't belong here. For real. Yeah, I'm very serious. Come on, man. This is liberation. This is the head of the Organization of African Unity. And let me say, this is why we have a high priest in the name of the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. God in flesh, the real Melchizedek. No storybook business here now. No make-believe, no long talk. We have been given a specific order to follow, man and woman. It wasn't a woman that came that taught these sisters here how to be a woman. It was a man. To give them, I talking about Bobo Shanti, so no one feel no way. It was a man that groomed them in the principle of an empress. And although everybody may not be moving off of the empress order which has been established, almost every woman call themselves empress today. Even as races, we were scorned. I came in at a time, me personally, priest Kidemi Shalom Isaac, I came in at a time when the women, you say your sisters is an empress, you get scorned by the elders. No empress here, one empress, and his daughters. You tell them that now, no? They themselves will bonfire on you. I came in at the time when blessed love, fire, blessed love here, heal up. Yeah, that's when I came in, heal up. Blessed love, no man, heal up. You heal up don't work no more. It's blessed love. Everybody's blessed love. Blessed love. Blessed love, welcome to the 12 o'clock news. Everybody's blessed love. So be firm, eh? This is your Royal Liberty Royal family. It was a beautiful moment this afternoon. Yeah, this is for those who love the lengthy programs. And of course, we're just encouraging you once again, man. Be firm in this stepping. This is a serious tradition. This is not no time for look at the program we did last night, previous evening with you know, our brother there from IUIC. I had to highlight that, trying to divert people with lies. We can't be no. If you want to have we challenge these fellas to debates all the time. I can't believe nobody even have the nerve to step up. Anyway, let me not get too far into that. Holy Manuel, Haile Selassie, Rastafari. So, family, the mission to Ethiopia. I'm definitely looking forward to each and every one, at least playing some sort of part, very important, being with us in some way or some fashion. Again, of course, I would love to see as many of us be on that mission that could be on the mission. Give thanks that Green Castle Hill is getting a nice fresh up there. Also, at the same time, remember that you have the ability to advertise with us. I'm just reminding everyone that the 13th day of this month, July, in fact, it's really the third for the ambassador's pen, the 30th of every month. We have a 50% off. Remember, the ambassador's pen comes out every month. So we always have a period for 50% off that comes to the end on the 13th of every month. So it's just a natural thing. So for the 13th of this month, you definitely have the ambassador's pen and Kidemi, both magazines, because the Kidemi will be coming out relatively the same time with the next ambassador's pen. They're going to meet each other, interestingly. So, and the Kidemi again will be the main push as we go to Ethiopia with that magazine. It will be beautiful if your business, many of you wanted to advertise with us for so long. Now is the time, especially now you have the 50%. You know what 50% is? Half, whatever it really costs, you're paying half, you can take two. That's what I'm trying to show you. But that comes to an end on Sunday. It is Sunday, this Sunday. Beautiful. Listen, man, just give thanks for the love. I'm happy that we can provide a way that we can show love to you. You can show love to us. Because that's showing love. It's not, this is not begging, Check the strategy good. We didn't come and ask nobody for nothing. I'm talking here to people. I expect everyone that's listening to me. I don't believe nobody here lazy. You either have a job or you have a business. You must be doing something. So you make money. So you have something to sell. You have something to advertise. You have some service. You have some idea. You know, you can't tell me you're just there bumming out. No. And every video we kick off, you're here. So you have to have some interest here, you know. And you can obviously see we have a good following. You can see we're serious about our marketing. You can see we reach out to the world. So, hey, listen, this ain't too expensive. The brother is on a serious mission that he's always talking about. Let me advertise in the magazine. It's going to at least benefit me. That's it, you know. Then there's this other person here that has a bit more cheese than you, and he's going to be a sponsor. So listen, man, I can sponsor one of those $75,000 package, and I have a big enterprise. I have 4 car rentals and a bakery. I want him to build a banner like he says, and put all of them on one banner and print the cards. And I'm going to be watching him on his live stream so I can see how he talks about my business. Fair enough. There ain't nothing wrong with that. The rest of the world will be watching on live stream when I'll be talking about your business once you not advertise, but you take on the sponsorship. You understand what else you can do now? There's something else. You can come on the mission with us. You know, that's just for your own pleasure. That ain't no contribution. Well, obviously, that will assist us. But I mean, that you don't need to know that. You're just coming to have a good time. You know what I mean? And make sure that I have a good time and everything is all right. We'll make sure you have a good time and everything will be protocoled and well taken care of. And then those of you who just laying back because again we ain't got no lazy people here and we are civilized people and we know the liberation, you can just donate whatever you think it's worth. And you know how to do that. Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com. I give thanks continually for the life giver and the keeper of life. As the Honorable Empress said, you can look forward to the uh, upcoming workshop. You have to reach out to us. Reach out to us. Reach out to us. Say, I want to be a part of the workshop. In fact, the fact that you want to come with us, you will be a part of the workshop. So I don't even have to stress that to you, but just letting you know there's another component. So you know become a bit more comfortable with what the venture you're going on. And even if you don't come with us this time around, the next time around, at least now you start to get an idea of what the future will hold for the different tours that we will be taking. So it's best to just come to the workshop. So come the man, email, family, this is liberation move, you know. We can't just be sleeping. And I don't want to get too serious with us right now, you know, because listen, we sleeping, you know, man. We sleeping. Come on, family. Let's get this thing together. Rastafari too, that's another thing. Hmm? Rastafari not too active on the front line, you know. Yeah, Rastafari on social media. Look at so much Rastafari on social media. But I can hardly look on one hand and tell you how many Rastafari on social media doing a liberation work, real liberation work, not posting up good sayings and them kind of thing, videos. And Holy Manuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, Honorable Empress, right?
Thanks. No, give thanks. No, give thanks.
Righteousness of salvation, family, if you know your Bible and you do not know your history, knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. It's a nice picture here, you know. The angels, like they have a towel ready for the man, eh? See? That's something. So after John the Baptist baptized him, the fellow just wrap him up here. That's interesting. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it takes some real eyes to realize the real lies that are amongst us, life giver and the keeper of life. Give thanks to the Love Royal family. Green Castle Hill, Mount Anu, Megalips aligning with the stars. Praise fire right. The earth hear his voice. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. Blessed love. Thanks. Attention, everyone. The Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge is inviting you to join us in September for the African Union CARICOM Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Sign up for the 3-day package and be a part of the AU CARICOM Summit. Plus, take in all of the sights of Addis Ababa, the new flower. Or you can opt for our 9-day cultural national tour, and that will engulf sites like Lalibela, Aksum, the Simeon Mountains, and much more. Transportation, accommodation, and your meals all included. So contact us now and reserve your spot. Email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com or visit our website priestisaacinstitute.com. Ethiopia. See you there. Attention, everyone. The Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge is inviting you to join us in September for the African Union CARICOM Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Sign up for the 3-day package and be a part of the AU CARICOM Summit. Plus, take in all of the sights of Addis Ababa, the new flower. Or you can opt for our 9-day cultural national tour, and that will engulf sites like Lalibela, Aksum, the Simeon Mountains, and much more. Transportation, accommodation, and your meals all included. So contact us now and reserve your spot. Email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com or visit our website priestisaacinstitute.com. Ethiopia. See you there.